These are wild, right? How's everybody feeling? My brain is not working, so this will be an interesting live stream. The energies are intense. Like I can literally I don't know, feel the I don't want to say weight, but like the pressure of this is like intense. But it is at nodal axis Pisces and Virgo, which is it's literally my north and south node, so I don't know if that's a bit more of why I'm feeling it so much. Hey Anna. Right, I reckon we're probably good to go. So hi, this is the third blood moon. This is the third eclipse that is in Virgo. So the first one was in March last year, and the second was in September, and we're on the third now. So this is that like big release, big culmination. Full moons are releases, full stop. They are that like shedding, shifting energy. And eclipses are that on steroids. That's the phrase you will hear all the time. It's always on steroids. And it's a good phrase to use because it's just like mega intense, souped up energy. It's full moon, but amplified. So it really, truly is like such a big release for all of us, and it will affect the Virgo part of your chart. That's where the themes will be coming up for you. So wherever Virgo sits, that's what should have been coming in for you. Mine is in my third house, which is hilariously all about communication. And I'm here trying to communicate. We also have Mercury in retrograde at the moment, which is in Pisces. It doesn't like being in Pisces, and Mercury retrograde is tech issues, which I've already had, and potentially communication issues. So let's see how this goes. I generally struggle with brain to mouth as it is. But with that detriment that's there between like the retrograde, see, look, it's already happening. But we have, so Mercury's like its ruler is like not, it's not comfortable over there in Pisces, but Mercury is ruling the north node, the south node where the eclipse is at the moment. So like it's also connected and also confusing. Hi. And so there's just like big intense energy for us all. So eclipses, a lunar eclipse is when the sun and moon are opposing, and then we have the earth going in between. So we won't see it in the UK, depending on where you are, but yeah, we're not going to see it, unfortunately. And south node is where it's on that point. The south node is where this lunar eclipse is. So it's really amplifying release energy. South nodes are like our karmic bucket of shit. And they are about so this is big release, big unraveling. Everything that's coming up now is very karmic for you. So it's things that are like with you in this life that you truly need to release in like a really big way. This is just like, this is bigger than a full moon. This is like got big, huge energy for you and impacting your life. And it's got themes that would have been around for the last like 18 months whilst we've been in the north node and south node being in Virgo and Pisces cycle. That doesn't close out until July, and then it switches. It will go into Leo north node and Aquarius south node, which will be super interesting for us all. But this is this final, like the one of three that in the Virgo part. So those themes coming up for you. So think back to March last year and think back to September last year with what kind of was happening in your life, because that will show you if you're not really truly feeling the energies now, which if you're not, then I don't know how, because it's mental. But yeah, it's this final eclipse, this closing chapter that is coming in for us. So this eclipse portal will also be shutting. This eclipse portal opened on the 17th of this month, and it was a solar eclipse in Aquarius, but it was so close to the north node in Pisces, so it's still part of this like axis, but it was in Aquarius. But that's kind of like giving us more of a theme and showing us bits of the new nodal cycle that will come later in the year. So that part of like, it's always connected and there's always like things going on. And we have so much in Pisces at the moment where the North Node is, which is opposing this South Node lunar eclipse. So let me get a thing up just to let you know what. So we have the sun obviously in Pisces at the moment, because that is always the opposite of the moon with the full moon aspect. That's what's lighting it up. We also have Mars in Pisces, the North Node's in Pisces. We have Mercury in Pisces in retrograde. We have Venus in Pisces. Like that's a lot of shit in Pisces right now. So it's like a heavy amount of weight over in that part of the chart. The moon obviously in Virgo on the other side, because that's why we are here. And then it is literally just like, so we've got Aries, we have Neptune and Saturn. Jupiter's over in Cancer, and we have Aquarius, which is in Taurus. Oh, and then Pluto, which is in Aquarius. So like, yeah, but it's heavy in the Pisces. So that's like really, really impactful for us all, because it's really then like, although there's this big release point on the Virgo, which is that like point of focus for us, there's obviously such a big focus into that Pisces part as well. Pisces being North Node is that point of where we're supposed to be trying like heading towards, in that point of like, that is that surrender, that flow. Pisces is wanting us to like get out of like the Virgo more negative themes and into that just like surrendering. And most of us, or at least I'm maybe just speaking for myself, don't surrender all that well. Like I find surrendering truly hard. I guess that's why it is my North Node. So this is going to all shut out. And then with this energy shutting out tomorrow, like shutting this eclipse portal, although that will be shut and it'll be like the culmination, we're not going to really get much clarity until the start of the astrological new year, which is Aries season, it's spring equinox. And that's also when Mercury will go direct again as well. So kind of like, although this is this big release aspect, like don't necessarily expect clarity or anything like that to come through until at least the 20th. So just kind of sit with that and be with that. And a lot of this is, although this is like big release and asking you to kind of look at these things to release off, I don't recommend doing any sort of ritual. Like don't actually like really do anything with this. It's just more of a witnessing, really feeling it in your body, really like being with it and allowing it to fall away, and like making that promise, but like it's not really actiony. It's about really being with, because eclipses just do what they do. They're kind of forced upon us and they give us that. So it's not necessarily for us to necessarily take control. And part of the theme of this lunar eclipse in Virgo is to release control, like stop trying to control things. We're kind of looking at the more negative connotations of Virgo here in that regard, because it's that South Node part, and that is that like controlling, like needing to have the answers, like needing such like depth and refinement and everything to be so absolutely perfect, to the point of like almost exhausting us. And Pisces over there, like with the North Node going, no, surrender and flow, like it will all be okay. Just like it's more trust in the process, like loosen that grip. You do not need this death grip on things. Things will work out. I'm really trusting and believing in that. So this is a big letting go. And this is also like in that point of like, this is the letting go of the letting go. That is this like final closing, like clearing here. Virgo rules is in the sixth house normally, and then so Pisces rules the 12th house. So if we bring in those themes, so with that, the sixth house Virgo, sixth house is like our routines, it's our daily habits, it's our work can be in there, like our daily work, it's our health, and it's our service and our responsibilities. The 12th house, the closing house of the zodiac cycle, is all about our subconscious patterns. It is all about that spiritual surrender, that transcendence and karmic closures. And so it's really like bringing in this like release point of what is not serving your daily routines. Like what is not serving you at work? Where are you overworked? Where is your health at detriment? Where are you not looking after your health? where are you being too much of service or like in too much responsibility to others when you really need to like put that inwards on yourself, and like give some of this to you. And then the 12th house, that north node where we're going towards, is like highlighting of that, like our subconscious patterns and like our lack of surrender, and that why our subconscious patterns affect then that sixth houseness of like why we're doing these things, why we're overexerting, why we're working too much. And it's that part of this of like not trying, like releasing control so that we can like go into this place of surrender and actually like trust in our body's depth and awareness, so it can guide us forwards, so that we truly can like release and not be so stressed, because stress does none of us any good at this point in time. um, like I said, Mercury's in retrograde in Pisces, so like brain fog to the max. Me right now trying to remember everything is like, whew, whew. And just don't expect, especially with Mercury retrograde in Pisces, don't expect logic. Like to expect brain fog and just kind of being with that. Don't try and fight against that. Like almost like be in the confusion if it's confusing and just allow it. Um, and trust that that will clear. It's just not going to clear now. But this is a time, Mercury retrograde is a time of revising, editing, and everything like that. And trusting that the messages really will come through, and everything will be clearer later on. We do have a Kazemi this week. It is on the Friday, Saturday. And then there may be a bit more clarity there that won't stay around for long, but you may get like doses of clarity in the middle of this retrograde for that. Let's see what else before we move on to my favorite bit, the cards. That is it. That's it. Yes, I have notes here because, like I said, brain fog. Right, so the card ruling the eclipse, the lunar eclipse in Virgo, is the Nine of Pentacles. So this is a card about self-sufficiency. Like she has built this garden for herself. She has worked hard. She has planted all those things, and then she's in it enjoying it. It is that like satisfaction and like self-sufficiency here. And what this is asking of us in this regard, how this is connecting into the moon, this lunar eclipse, is it's actually asking us to like where do we now need to prune so we can actually enjoy it. We're at a point where you don't need to keep working, you don't need to keep going to the garden center and buying new plants and putting them in your garden. Like you actually need to like clear some room, get away the dead weight, get away what is here that does not need to be here anymore, so you can actually enjoy it, because you've worked hard to have this garden and have everything fill up. Like you've got this through your discipline, and that's wonderful. Like discipline is a great Virgo trait, but this is about like getting rid of the Virgo traits that don't serve us. So what is not sustainable, what is draining you, like what habits are out of alignment, and they may have served you once, and that's okay. It's the point is they don't serve you now. So it's about this, getting the shears and pruning your garden. That is the point of this lunar eclipse. The other card, so this is in the part of the chart where the sun is, so this is where the Pisces is, and this is the Nine of Cups. And the Nine of Cups, look at him, he's so happy surrounded by his 9 cups. This is a card about emotional fulfillment and satisfaction. That's why he's sat there all like happy as Larry, because like he's worked hard to get this shit and he's happy with himself. Good for him. And it's kind of asking us to lean across, like more into this, like with this emotional fulfillment, with this gratitude. She's grateful too, but this is like we need to prune this shit so we can actually enjoy it to this level. So we have the space to enjoy it, we have the time to enjoy it, we have the energy to enjoy it, all of our hard work and dedication and everything that we've done. So it's that point of like, also a positive beacon of like a wish has been granted. You do get what you want, but you have to get rid of what does not serve you. Like head towards this north node, happy man surrounded by his cups and feeling genuinely nourished, because we deserve to. We're human beings, we deserve to like actually enjoy the fruits of our labor. And that it's like it's about that. That's why we do it, so we can get this enjoyment and this satisfaction and share it as well. It's not just all about like me. There is this sharing here, but this is always like this release point is personal to you. And hi everybody in the chat. Sorry, like rambling away, but hello. And I appreciate you popping in the chat. With the retrograde, like, am I allowed to swear on here? Does that like get banned or anything? I don't know. With that, like squiffing our brains and not being able to think very much, and then Virgo being earth and being of the body, this is very much asking us to get in to our bodies, get into that water flow, that Pisces, that north node, but feel in your body where you're tired, where's not serving you, and get that feedback from that. One of the best things any of us can do, and for the last few days, I mean in general, but like for the last few days especially, and then as we continue into this lead up to the eclipse tomorrow, is regulate your nervous system. Like, go out in nature. It's been beautifully sunny here today in England. Get out in nature, go out, hug a tree, like barefoot on the earth, if you're comfortable doing that. Super muddy, I'm not. But like, truly ground into your body. Feel, like, just allow, get out of monkey brain that's all skewiffy and blocked right now anyway because of the retrograde, and just feel into your body, and like just ask, like check in, do a scan of your body. Where are you tired? Michelle, I've been crying a lot. Is that because of the retrograde? Yeah. So we're in Pisces season. Pisces is water, so any water season is going to generally like have an instant, like maybe more prone to crying. We've got so much in Pisces as well at the moment, so that all of that water, and then that retrograde is like skew in our brains. There's mental fog and like, and there's also part of the retrograde is like that part of it will make the crying happen. I have cried so much at silly things, and big things as well. But it's also this eclipse. We're in the eclipse portal, which has been the last 2 weeks. It ends tomorrow. So that is like, they're always high intense energies. So with high intense energies, there could be more anger, more tears, like, like bigger emotions of some regard coming through, more hysterical laughter perhaps. But you also have the fact that like, this is a release point. So we opened on a solar eclipse, which was a new moon, new beginnings, planting these seeds. And that was kind of an inkling and a showing of the new nodal cycles coming in. And then this is a release, and it's a big release, released on steroids. So with that, there can be like big emotional cathartic releases, because it's potentially what your body needs. That's part of like listening to your body. What, like, asking it, why are you crying? Is there reason? Is it just, and is it like, I cried earlier at a Fred Again video because I was jealous that I wasn't at the gig, and it was like old music, and I just gave me all the feels. I'm watery anyway, I do cry, things like that, that's fine. But that fact of like, I'm overly emotional at the moment because there's this like, because I'm not as regulated, because there's such intense energy. So it's like kind of checking in with yourself to kind of see why you may be so emotional at the moment. Is it because you're holding on to something that you really need to let go of, and that's what it's bringing up? Is it just because you're so tired and you actually need to rest? Like, it's truly tapping in and trying to ask that. With these cards as well that are connected to this, these are both nines. So nines in tarot are like this, it's a manifestation on, and like an attainment of the journey you've been on to get to ace to nine. 10 is proper completion, but there is a completion energy within nines. So, and that's coming through with this like big release. And this is the final chord being cut. But please remember, this release, this cutting, this pruning of your garden, it's not from lack. So she's pruning her garden so she can enjoy it, so she can make space for herself, because it's so full, as opposed to it like, it's not about lack, it's not about losing. That this is all, anything you are shedding right now is to serve you. It is for your emotional fulfillment and your emotional happiness. It is actually to serve you. It's getting out of overworking and into rest, out of control and into surrender, out of structure that doesn't serve you, and really leaning into your soul, like North Node, Pisces, pure soul, like that connection to the divine. So, like, ask yourself, does your daily life, the structures, the routines, the habits, the people potentially, do they support your emotional well-being? And if they don't, like, that's part of the shedding here. Because this is about closing so we can expand. And then, like, this is such a beautiful thing to have just a few weeks out from the start of the new year, the astrological new year, where the spring equinox is as well, and like that clearing. So honor what you've built here, honor the parts that brought you joy, even if they don't bring you joy now and you can't take them forwards. Like, just release what no longer fits the version of you that you want to take forwards, so we can be him, because he's so happy with his cups. Right, that's my like proper rambly bit done. That's the moon, that's the energies, that's the connecting cards. So for anyone here in the room, I would love to pull some cards for you. It's up to you. You can either drop in the chat. Sorry, my chair's now going to make a funny sound on the microphone. Drop in the chat either your rising signs, if you, especially if you want to know where this is affecting in your chart. If you don't know your rising sign, jump onto Google or whatever it may be. If you know your birth date, your birth time, your birth location, you'll be able to pull up a quick chart, like a free chart, and it will show you your rising, because that's the bit that kind of indicates the part of the chart your sun sign is a bit less helpful, essentially, unless your sun happens to be where your rising is. So yeah, either give me your rising. I can also let you know where it's affecting you, but regardless of that, I can still pull a card just to kind of give you some helpful navigation through this eclipse, this closing. But yeah, it's big. Like I said earlier, like, it's not that the energy feels heavy, or kind of does, but it's like it just feels intense, like there's a big pressure to it. My head earlier was just like, yes, it's swimming with like Mercury retrograde fog and stuff, but it's just like I literally could just feel pressure. And I was like, oh my god. And just this like not big fatigue. I have big fatigue anyway, personally, in my life at the moment. I'm fucking shattered all the time and running off ADHD meds, to be honest, not running off actual reserves. And even with ADHD meds and an increase today, they went up today, I still drink coffee, which I'm not supposed to drink on them, because I just was fucking shattered. Although, not going to lie, I feel way more wired right now, but that's also because I'm live and I'm like, what the fuck? Sorry, rambling away. Michelle, I will pull you cards. That's not a problem. I'm just kind of waiting to see if you're going to give me a rising, but if not, just pop another thing in there and just say like no or yes or whatever, and I can just pull if you're not going to give me your rising. And then yeah, anyone else in the chat? I can see people are in the chat, because it tells me. It doesn't tell me who you are, but it tells me. And I'm just confused all the time these days. Yeah, don't expect that to clear until the 20th. So just kind of roll with it as best you can, which I know for you will probably be relatively hard, because it's that part of like wanting that logical, like law and order control. But it's yeah, part of the process. I'm the same as well. I have a Virgo South Node. I want to like in my third house. So like I want to have that control and logic, and I try and logic everything. And I don't do very well with just surrender and flow and la la. Like I'd love to, but I just can't. And Anna, I can't remember your rising either. So you have to let me know. And depending, there's not many of you in here, so I may do tarot, I may do a couple of other cards if I feel drawn to, if it feels right. Capricorn. Okay, Michelle, I will do you. I'll just do this first, just in case you are getting like your birth details or something up. So your Capricorn rising for this is your 9th house, Anna. So your 9th house is your spiritual growth house. Essentially, it's that like you develop your beliefs in that bit, and whether they are spiritual or philosophical or religious, your beliefs in that regard stand there. Also education and also travel, that's all in your 9th house. So that's where it's affecting you as a Capricorn rising. Let's just see how to best navigate for you. So the first card we have is the Devil in reverse. And the Devil in reverse, the Devil, I'm pretty certain this card is ruled by Capricorn, interestingly. The Devil in reverse is actually how we want it. So, sorry, the light's all like shiny on these. This is a card that is all about like the shadow self and attachments and how they can control us. But in the reverse, it's actually more of like saying like you're at a point now where you're actually ready to release. Makes sense. Big releases here, of ways of being, and things that used to control you that don't serve you anymore. So it's like you're truly in that regard, with this being in your 9th house as well, like opening your eyes in a way of seeing the world in a way you've not seen it before. That's almost like the clarity coming through in this big release. And it's then linked in as well. We've got the Ace of Cups in the reverse. So I'm trying to make it so the light's not shining off. And cups is our water. It's our emotional landscape. It's how we relate. It's a heart space. And obviously Pisces is water. And it's that like it's saying like what you're done, what you're like now releasing and being like completely done with. In this regard of what was sabotaging you and what was keeping you under this like lock and chain, even though they're not actually stuck under lock and chain, they can actually take it off. They're just being silly. You're ready to release blocked emotions, anything that is repressed within your heart, ways of thinking, ways of being, potentially even like that past relationships and stuff like that, and just the way you related before and that mode you've been in that just does not serve you anymore, and you're just done with it. So we also have here the 6 of Pentacles, and the 6 of Pentacles is a card that is all about balance. It is all about this equal give and take, and it's saying like in that regard, like you're done with all these old patterns, and that you're moving into this balance. So you're moving into where you want an equal give and take in the energies you are giving, so that that is exactly what you receive, which is really beautiful energy for you in your life. And then like that's what this is really offering you under this moon. Hi Jacob, let me know if you would like a card pulled, or your rising as well if you want any information on that. And hennas, that's cool. You don't have to think it means anything, but like spend your time better and go elsewhere. Negativity in general, not welcome. Like just be a happy person. If you don't like it, go away, go elsewhere. Like you don't need to be here if you don't believe in it. That's fine. I respect your opinion, but like go away. And you're welcome, Anna. I'm going to pick a different tarot deck actually, because it was too shiny for the light. Sun and Libra. I need your rising. Do you know what your rising sign is, Michelle? And this happens to be that as well. If not, it doesn't matter. I can still, like I said, I can still pull cards. But it's your rising part that I need. So your first house. And I've now got a different deck out, so it shouldn't be so shiny. And then anyone else in here. So there's a few, because I will jump off in about 10 minutes. That's a really weird phrase. I'm not jumping anywhere. I will leave here in about 10 minutes. I will stand up from my chair. Go free the dog from the kitchen. So whilst, if no one else is putting anything in the chat, and whilst Michelle's looking, Moon and Tarot happens every couple of weeks. It'll be around the new and full moons. It will always be advertised on my socials. I'll always try and have a scheduled thing on here, so you can get notified if you follow me on here. But the next time we meet will be the 18th at 7 o'clock again, UK time, and it'll be for the new moon in Pisces. It's whatever, if you look at the actual chart, you have like a chart wheel up. It's literally whatever's in the first house. So whatever sign, symbol, part of the zodiac wheel is there. I don't think you can put pictures in the chat. I mean, if you can put pictures in the chat, put a picture in and I can figure it out. Ooh. Yeah. 18th, new moon in Pisces, which is really nice to have that like new moon energy. So the new moon won't actually be on the 18th. I will do it the day before. It'll be on the 19th. I think it's the 19th. Yeah. And then that'll be like the day before we move out of Pisces season completely. We'll move into Aries season, start of the astrological new year, and spring equinox. So all that like new. But that new moon in Pisces will be that like setting, like it's just a new moon as well. No eclipses, no heightened energy, but yeah, setting those new intentions and stuff in regards to like, I think everything we've learned. I've not looked into the energies properly yet. I'll do that closer to the time, but it feels like a beautiful way to kind of close out before we start a whole new chapter. And there's been so much big shifts and change and new chapters. There's been such big planetary movements the last like month or so. That in that regard, we really are entering. I mean, like, just look at the world, look at the crazy, like, the systems are crumbling and falling. We really are entering a new era. What does the little symbol look like? If you kind of describe what the symbol looks like to me, or just have a quick Google of zodiac symbols, and then if you like just look at what that symbol is, that will be your rising. And then in general, once you know your rising, when you're looking at astrology things, always look at your rising sign. Don't look at your sun sign unless your sun sign is in your first house. And any of you other few that are in the chat, if you want a card pulled, please let me know. If not, we will close out with Michelle. But I do have a determination to like, I now really want to know what your rising is. Just gives you that little bit of extra insight into how this eclipse is affecting you, which is always just like, I don't know, I find it super helpful to know. Yeah, Vanessa, please go ahead. Go ahead. I mean, I'll do like, I'm doing a few, yeah, like, but like mini. I'll pull a card. If you want a proper reading, I do private readings. My details will be either on my YouTube somewhere, or you can find me Heart Medicine with Charlie, my website or my socials, for more information about proper readings. So if you go, Michelle, if you could even put your, might be quicker if you put your details on, so AstroSeek, use that, or like Kathy Astrology is also a good one, and put in free birth chart astrology. That should be it. Put that in. To get your chart up, put your details in, and then you want to see what is in your first house. It will be called your ascendant. If not your rising, it will be called your ascendant. Vanessa, yeah, I can do that for you. Do I play Sab? I have absolutely no idea what that is. So I'm going to guess no. Hmm. So Vanessa, the first card that came out is the Seven of Pentacles. Pentacles is Earth, and so this is a card that is it's literally about like long-term investment, and the effort we put in. Like you have to plant these seeds, and then how you nourish everything so something can actually grow. It's the hard work and dedication, so we can get like a good crop, essentially. And then we have the Queen of Wands, which is a card that is all about this like self-confidence, and belief and courage, a lot of charisma with the Queen of Wands. And then we had the Nine of Swords as well. This came out in limbo. So there feels like there is this like, it depends on who these are relating to, because I didn't pull them for a particular person, but it like these feel quite like positive. There is this like long-term investment aspect here of wanting something to like stand the test of time, with this like fiery energy, but with the Nine of Swords coming out like on top of it in limbo, there's this like this is where fears, worries, anxieties, nightmares, like all of this like mental pressure that is coming in, and it's like it's this is the part where it's limbo. It's like it's not completely stuck in just like that fear, worry, and anxiety, and it's not also like in any way ready to release it. It's just like it's really like it's coming over and just like completely and utterly like masking all of this. So there is this element, like these are there and these are like positive, but this is kind of coming on top, and it's just like this big like weight, this big mask. So I would like, especially with lunar eclipse, I would work towards at the moment like clearing those fears, clearing those worries, clearing that mental anxiety, because it won't serve you, and it also won't like get you the answers as such that you need. Like you need to stop worrying about, like as in like stop worrying about how he feels about you or if he still loves you. So like stop that focus point and bring that focus point back to like really like clearing your mind and coming home to yourself and having that as a navigation point. So that, and then like there is this point, this is like, this is so confident, the Queen of Wands, so much like charisma, charm, like confidence, but it's being masked right now by all this fear and worry, and you want to be able to move forward from that place of being in confidence. So yeah, take it out of your Pisces. Yeah, Page of Swords as well in limbo. So it is that mental landscape of like, yeah, like wanting you to clear that mental landscape, so that you can have actual clarity, which will be harder as well as at the moment with Mercury retrograde in Pisces, causing a lot of brain fog and confusion. So it's kind of like a bit of, it's really asking you to lean into all of the elements of this cycle, which is just trust, surrender, flow, lean into like love, compassion for self as well, and like stop focusing on things that you can't control that are only causing more strife in the brain, and just really like coming home to your body. So I recommend like nervous system regulation and things like that. Yeah, I do. It's so difficult to just like get into flow and surrender. I find it really, really hard. Like I teach other people to do it. Like it's part of my job, and I can do it for other people and help them more than I can help myself. Like pot kettle black. Like I'm not very good at following my own advice. I find it really, really hard to surrender. The best thing, and this is something I've learned much more recently with a shitty last half a year I've been through, is really, really coming into your body and regulating your nervous system. Offers like it goes a long way in helping with this, and just practice like a spiritual practice. That part of like, if you have a belief system like I do, I believe in spirit, I believe in creator, I believe in the divine, and in those moments the bit that's got me through is like trusting that it's all for a purpose, especially in what we're in right now, which is an eclipse portal, which is everything's karmic and everything is out of our control. So I definitely would say, if nothing, don't try and get any control of anything really until the 20th of March. But I'm sending you love. I'm sending you a lot of love. how are you doing, Michelle? Are you still finding it? And yeah, anyone else in the chat, if you want, you're welcome, Vanessa. If you'd like a card pulled, just realize that I'm just doing that because I'm fidgeting, because I'm a fidgety person. I need like a fidget spinner, and I realize a noise must be really annoying. It's a Cancer, wonderful, amazing. Hello, fellow Cancer rising. I am a Cancer rising too. So with that, it is a Virgo lunar eclipse release point in your third house, as it is for me. So that is your house. The third house is the house of communication. It is your early learning. It is your siblings potentially. It is your like your general, like, because it's how you learn. Your rational mind is in there, so your mindset and your local environment. So more like, I mean, like literally is in like your neighbors type of local environment, like close proximity local environment. So that's all the kind of things that are under that third house. It may be that there's a mixture across those themes for you, or one in particular that's really ramping up with this lunation. And like I said, this is themes that would have been in starting March last year, would have been the first one, and themes throughout, but like the eclipse wise, March and then September. Let's see how I can navigate this for you. Oh, thank you, Vanessa. That's always very lovely. Now I'm blushing. Oh, I will pick that one up off the floor. So, Michelle, for you, we have, it's all cups. So cups is water, which is our emotional landscape. It's our heart space. It's how we relate to people. It's our intuition sits in there as well, and creativity. Creativity can also be fire, but I like it in cups too. The first card we have for you is the Knight of Cups. So he's the hopeless romantic of the deck, essentially. He comes heart on sleeve with his flowers. You know, he's got his lovely picnic blanket, but it is that romantic, that dreamer, that like believer in love. And just interesting because we have it with the Two of Cups as well. And this is essentially what I consider the most loved up card of all of tarot. It's not the Lovers for me, it's the Two of Cups, because this is about, twos are about merging and union and coming together. And it's this heart space aspect, this coming together. So with these two coming up, there does feel like there's potentially more of a like either like romantic edge to it, or a potential romantic edge. And if it's not a literal person or anyone around you in that regard, then it is really like it could just be like a more like fantasy aspects, because part of this as well with this release point is letting go of fantasy. So it could be actual person, and it could just be more like, you know, within you, a reflection of you, of like what does not serve you, because we literally have as well then the walking away card. The Eight of Cups is the card of walking away. It's reaching a point of like walking away from 8 cups that you have worked hard at, and that you've filled these cups, and knowing that you have to go onwards to a new horizon, because like what you have done so far is no longer fulfilling you. It's no longer working for you. So big themes across this eclipse, full stop, and like with this big release. But it feels like this could be like ideals. So it could be a literal person that has been really ramped up within, like, if this is true for you romantically in any way, or just a really strong, you know, heart connection with a friend. If not, it could be like those ideals that you have held, and potentially held since childhood, with it being the third house part of the release. And really asking you, especially so much heart part here, of getting out of your mind and what's been in there, like, and down into your, like, your actual heart space. It's with my ex. Okay, so that would then make sense. This is a walking away, and then take how this like fits you most. This can be literal walking away, being done, absolutely done, and being like, I'm, you know, that's behind me, off I trot to this new horizon. It can also just, it can be done with a way of being with a person that doesn't serve you. But if you said it's an ex, I would imagine, it's not just imagine, I would say like just don't go back. Like, it's not a there's such big releases under this energy, and with that coming forwards with this like big release point of the eclipse, I wouldn't bother. If you were considering it, you may be like, I'm definitely not considering it, but it's highlighting those themes for you. No. Okay, so just wanted to, he reached out. Of course he did, because do you know what happens in Mercury retrograde? Exes reach out. So don't, especially if you are going to have communication with him or any potential reconciliation, wait until Mercury is not in, Mercury goes direct on the 20th. It's then in post shadow. It's out of post shadow like mid-April. If you want to consider this and have these conversations, I would literally leave it until mid-April. Like, don't consider it before then. But it's just some further clarification cards we have for you. Knight of Pentacles is in the reverse. So the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse indicates a man, a person that did not, or and could not offer you stability. It talks to someone that is really stubborn and stuck in their ways, and it's like they have to be right. They have to almost like rule in that way. So like very, like stubborn, can be very egotistical in that way. Like, what else? It's like their authority, their rules have to like, be right, be the ones you listen to. So that level of control, that's what comes through of a Knight of Pentacles. And trust me, I know this energy. But we then had it followed with the Emperor. So for one, the Emperor's upright, so we like this. The Emperor is also like, kings are wonderful. Kings are then like on their throne and in their power, and we like the kings. The Emperor's major arcana, so it's like a king on steroids as such. And this is like a fiery, like yes, they have control, they can be assertive, they know how to play the game. It's fiery, it's Aries, but there's a lot of like, yes, there's a lot of structure and control and stuff that comes into the Emperor, but he's not in the reverse, so it's not in the negative connotations of this. And it came out with the Ace of Cups for you, Michelle. So Ace of Cups is new beginnings in the emotional landscape. It's new love, it's new connections. So what I'd say is like it's kind of highlighting more of a negative energy, and then saying that there's a potential for this, but we want to ignore this. So yeah, I would leave it be. Stick with the Eight of Cups and walk away. Don't entertain it. And if you, like I said, if you are going to entertain it, don't entertain it until mid-April. But with all of those cards, I truly wouldn't recommend it. But you are a human being with free will, and you can do as you please. And you will always do the right thing for you. And even if the right thing is the wrong thing, whatever path you go down, you'll be guided right and you'll learn something. So yeah, it's not I am not the King of Pentacles in reverse trying to control or domineer. So you do you and know you're supported regardless. Hello. Well, Miss Virgo, I know that this is in your first house. So we can pull some cards. He didn't offer you stability, that's why he walked away. Yeah. He said he's got a good job now. I wouldn't saying and having a different things, and it's like, do you like, can he offer you what you actually want in your heart space? Truth of truths. Can they offer you what you want? It's very easy to idealize an ex because of comfort, because it's something we know, because we want to be loved, because it may show us something about our worth if they come back, and because we love them. And that's all fine, but it doesn't mean they're actually right for us, and it doesn't mean that we should entertain it. And like I said, with all the skies and the energy and everything right now, I really wouldn't recommend. But if you do, completely supported from me. Hi, I can't say that. Kazawaki. How do you say that? That's a lot. That's hard for my little brain in the Mercury retrograde. It's ouch. Yes. So it's in your first house, so of course it is. So this is like literally like essentially a release point and a trigger of self, essentially being in the first house. Your first house is your identity. Your first house is also your body, but it's just you. It's who you are. It's who you come into the world as. So it's literally hitting on that aspect for you, and it's asking you to release in a really, really big way. It's asking you to let go of every single thing that is not true to you, that does not serve you, and that you cannot take forwards. Like that you can't, like it's not coming forwards. You don't want it to come forwards. So like a proper, like, yeah, shed. So it will feel very, and it will potentially feel very uncomfortable in your body because of that. Saying to everybody they need to come into their bodies, but like with that you may feel this very, very heavily in your body, and potentially even be a day of like where it's that like how you are, how that self-image aspect, mirror stuff maybe have been potentially a bit uncomfortable today, as in like literally looking in the mirror. It may just be a day of like, oh, don't want to see that, which is kind of a day that I've had, and now I've got a fucking camera in my face. But we ignore that. Fuck it, it don't matter. Comfortable in my body today, like super heavy. Yeah, I said earlier before you came on, like it's heavy. It won't be very heavy for you, but like there's a heaviness, but like for me there's just been a lot of like tension heavy, if that makes sense. Like my head earlier felt like it was going to explode, and like that, just like, oh, like a heaviness that's, if that was a really good description of that. Anyway, I will pull some cards of how to navigate. Oh my god, I'm really warm. I'm very warm. I mean, I would have potentially recommend hiding under a blanket. It's kind of what I wanted to do with my day, and then it was sunny, and I'm like, oh, I've got to go like enjoy the world and walk the dog. I am literally so warm. I can see how red I am. We've got the Ace of Wands in the reverse as the first one. Wands being fire. Wands is that, like, you know, that divine spark of inspiration, passion, get up and go. And in the reverse, there's like a block on that. So it's kind of like a whoo, slow your horses, calm down. All of that fire that is actually within you, all of that drive, all of that, like, you know, that passion, that determination, and like go, 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 go. Like, want to be king of the castle, as in, like, because I'm thinking King of Wands, and he is like the entrepreneur. He is he not just runs the business, he runs all the minions underneath it as well. Like, he is confident, he is self-assured, all of that. And that's like end goal. That's the other end of the Ace of Wands. But this Ace of Wands in the reverse is kind of just being like, whew, pause, calm second. Not to say that that's not like a direction, but it's just like all of that fire, drive, oomph, go, 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 go. No, not right now. Pause. Absolutely not. And then it's with the Ace of Swords. Interesting, you just said like ice bucket on your creative flame. So if you think that swords are very cold, it's the air, it's the mind. And although this is in the upright, there's some like actual clarity, spark of clarity here with it. Like it is that like bringing in that coolness and being like, right. So it's actually asking you for a moment. It's like pausing this to take on this, because what we actually need for this, for that, like that, you know, look at that fire sparking like from crown to third eye, with that Ace of Swords coming in being like, no, there's actually some, but this is the release point. Like, this is all that like Virgo, methodical, got to control thinking. It's law, order. Look at this lovely, nice, organized, you know, staircase coming in. And there's this like, it's a new way of thinking is landing for you. So for right now, it's like, yeah, fire, paused, out, not out, but like it's just like it's taking a reprieve. It's got to get out of the way for a second, because your actual like way of thinking is being like reassessed, which makes sense with this being in your first house of self, that you're truly like, it's such a big deep shed on a really deep personal level for you, and restructuring that Virgo mind in a way that will serve you moving forwards. But right now, you know, you won't like, because especially with Virgo, you like the structure and you like what you know, but there's a full-on reset, and it's with the Temperance in reverse. Temperance is a card about like we want it and like in the upright, and it's not. And this is where everything's in balance and it's lovely and it's in flow and like, yeah, amazing, love it. It's not. It's in the reverse, and that's saying where like what this is highlighting to you in a really big way is the imbalance. And it's an imbalance, like these are both masculine, like wands and swords, but it's highlighting the imbalance within your like just your whole structure, and it's highlighting it because it's shedding it so that because you can't take it forwards, like you can't, you're not allowed. So it's like essentially the biggest thing will be like to sit and be as best you can with this energy and just allow, like cancel all your work calls, cancel all your commitments, like just don't, like rest, recover, nervous system regulation, have a bath, eat something, get out in nature, like that type of thing. Like that is what it will be recommended, and just let this reset do its reset. You don't need to do any like spells, or definitely don't do any manifestation, like, and I wouldn't even like, you don't even need to sit at your like altar and like try and be with this at the moment, if that makes sense, because like with Mercury retrograde and stuff, like we're not going to make sense of anything fucking anyway. So like it's literally just about get out in nature, ground, like actually have some of that like rest, recuperation, and kind of let the, yes, we're taking shears and we are shedding, but it's feeling that in your body and knowing what to shed, but not trying to control it in any way. Something comes up, you're like, yep, cool, snip, as opposed to being like, but where is it, what am I snipping, what am I snipping, like no, like full on let go. Didn't I tell you that the other day of something else? But no, I'm not. But also, yes, so we can have more fluffy coffee. Thanks. Hi, I was about to say mozzarella, but I don't think that says that. Sorry. Do you do tarot readings on here? I was also wondering, I inherited my grandmother's set, which is upstairs, and was wondering how I'd go about handling them. Oh, I love that you inherited your grandmother's set. That's beautiful. It depends what you want to do. So if you've inherited them and you want to use them, I would always recommend a cleanse and a like a tuning yourself to the new deck. Just in general, do that with all new decks. You won't cleanse her like energy away as such. Like, you know, it's come from her, it's come through her, so it will still have such a heavy resonance of her in that regard. So don't worry about cleansing her away. You won't. But it's more of a like cleanse and attune to them, connect with them, and just get rid of anything that doesn't like serve you in that way as part of that cleansing process. But initially, I would just handle them, like, but just be with them, just kind of hold them, keep them at your heart or any of your chakras. You could even just go down or up your chakras, sleep with them under your pillow for a while, actually just be with them for a while before you like play with them as such. And just connect with them and just see what kind of comes through initially would be my first point of call. And then yeah, see your cleanse them through moonlight. We had some really odd occurrences after we brought them home. Odd in which way? I believe a lot of things can be very of our own mind as such in that regard. So like we can, it's almost like project ways of, they're not going to be haunted, essentially, I think is what I'm trying to say. They're not going to be haunted. Anything like that will be more of a projection of your own mind space and potentially thinking that they are. They won't be haunted. They may hold energies, and they could just hold very strong like synchronicities. So, but if you're like, if anything's happened weird and you're very uncomfortable with it, then like I would literally just state and like make it more of the, you know, like if they're just say I don't want things to like happen, because things listen. Things were falling off shelves, the box keeping them was opened, it was strange. There's a lot. I just don't believe in, like, I do believe in spiritual and stuff like that. I don't believe in hauntings as such. So there's a really great pair of, that used to be paranormal hunters, like investigators, Greg and Dana Newkirk, and it's like looking at their work is very, very interesting, and how they view hauntings at this point, and how we create a lot of it within our own mindscape of the energetics we put on something as thinking it's haunted. So I'd say like just go about it with a bit more positivity. Like definitely don't be fearful of it, because you'll feed into that. And then like it's like we create it ourselves. I don't know how to, they'll explain it a lot better than I do, but yeah, they're good people to look up in that regard. It's not an topic. I love it. It's absolutely fine. It's just not necessarily my area of expertise. But yeah, just like sit and be with the deck and like ask for that connection. And then just see what comes through. If you've sat with it for a while and you've already saged it, then ask the deck like how it wants to work with you, or like what it can offer you, because different decks offer different things. So like you can use the deck to pull a card, or if you're not comfortable using that deck yet, use a different deck to pull a card and ask what that deck is to connect with you, and how it will guide you, because different decks like guide us in different ways. But yeah, look them up. They're amazing. I love them. So yeah, Greg and Dana Newkirk. Right, I've just realised it is. Could also be done in a one-to-one ceremony and or energy healing. It's a very old deck. Amazing, yeah. Older things hold more energetics for sure. I bet if it's an old deck, it must be beautiful. Right, I've realised I've been on here for an hour. I'm also boiling hot. I'm sat next to a radiator, so why I put the heating on, I don't know. I want to go turn that off. And I left my puppy in the kitchen. So, unless there's anybody else in here, then I'm going to jump off and go and actually eat my dinner. I know it doesn't say it, but I can't. So mozzarella is not, that's such a hard word. Just some of the cards have peeled a little, yeah, but I reckon that would add so much to the character. So yeah, I bet they are beautiful. I'm over on socials. I'm sorry, I keep going to say mozzarella. So if you follow me over there, I would love to see some photos of the deck. Just send me some photos across heart medicine on everything. But yeah, that's it. I'll be back on the 18th for this again. And it will be about the new moon in Pisces. We will be out of eclipse season. Yay. It ends tomorrow. The eclipse portal ends tomorrow, but like I said, things won't really settle till later in the month, although they will ease slightly. So yeah, just lots of like coming back into yourself. And I love you too. And Michelle, thank you for the reading. He really hurt me as he lost his job the last few months we were together, telling me to go find a man that can offer me the financial stability that I offer. He was very that cut off, so I haven't got it all. But yeah, relationship losses can be very uncomfortable. But if it's you also don't want that like jealousy aspect. Like if he's not like he's not that like that King of Pentacles in the reverse aspect of like not being positive. I would, yeah, just love and respect. There'll always be someone new. But yeah, like I said, anyway, mid-April. Anyway, yes, I'm gonna go because otherwise I'll just keep going. Where was that? I don't know what that's in reference to. But yeah, I'm gonna go. I hope you all have a beautiful evening. If you want a one-to-one private tarot reading or lessons, or I do energy work, and that can be done no matter where you're watching from. It can be done at a distance. Then yeah, I'm Heart Medicine with Charlie. You can find me on my website or on socials and reach out. I would love to work one-to-one. If not, yeah, this will be live again in a couple of weeks. It will always be new and full moons. You can get notified if you subscribe on YouTube. It will be on here. And yeah, I think that's it. But have a beautiful evening, whatever you're doing. Go rest, be easy, ground, eat. Don't try and like really do anything. Just be with the energies coming forwards, and know that anything rising up, and if it's super uncomfortable, that's that release point that we want to surrender into and not take that shit forward. So yeah, sending you all lots of love. Bye, 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 bye.